Good morning and welcome to today's Facebook Live. My name's Jenny McCormack. I'm an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator and I'm based in the market town of Brackley, which is in the centre of the UK. Thank you for joining us today. I thought we'd have a little bit of a change from our Christmas and retiring sets from the autumn winter catalogue for 2020 and look at something that's coming up in the new January to June catalogue for 2021. So the stamp set I've chosen to use is this fun one here called Snailed It, and as you can see it features two cute snails, one here with a little envelope on his back with some mail, or it could be a parcel, and then this one here with some presents on the back. This one's definitely a girl snail because she's got little eyelashes, and this one is probably a boy snail, but it could be either, of course. We have this cute little speech bubble and the words hello and a heart, both of those will fit in it. We also have You Snailed It as a bit of a play on words, these cute little toadstools, and then this is perfect for your envelope, Happy Mail enclosed. So I'm just going to do a simple card for today. This stamp set does actually have a set of framelits that go with it to cut out the snails, but today I'm just going to keep it nice and simple. So let me see who we have with us. Tracy, Carol and Monica, lovely to have you join me. Thank you so much. So let's get cracking. What I plan to do is create a small note card using our note card and envelopes, and I will talk to you in a minute about the new products that are coming out that are replacing Whisper White, so remind me to tell you if I forget. And so this consists of an envelope and a matching note card, and what I've done is cut out a piece of Whisper White card which is 3 inches by 4.5, and I've chosen Bermuda Bay as my backing layer because I'm going to colour in, I think I'm going to do this one here and colour in the little envelope in Bermuda Bay, so I've got a connection in colour. And what I'm going to do is use You've Got Mail little snail, but I'm going to use the sentiment You Snailed It. So I'm going to show you how you can stamp this without the wording in the top. So that is my plan. So I have already got You've Got Mail on my block. I've also got some leaves and things like that from Field of Flowers, so that I can add a little bit of interest rather than just the snail on its own. And the colours I'm using will be early espresso for my stamping. I'm going to use a little bit of balmy blue for my sky with my blending brush, and I've got some crumb cake blends for the colours of the snail. So that's the plan. So there's 3 different ways that you can take the wording off You've Got Mail from this set. So one is you can cut it out and have it as a separate stamp, but not everybody likes to do that, so I can understand that. The other way you can do it, oh hi Julie and hi Jeanette, is to use one of our Stampin' Write markers and just put ink on the snail element and the parcel and leave the You've Got Mail bit out of it. So it's another tidy way to do it. If you don't have our marker pens though, I'm going to show you a different way to do that. And that is, I'm going to use a little bit of a post-it note. So Stampin' Up have these fun-sized post-it notes that are ideal really for marking your catalogue. So they have obviously sticky here, and then you can mark places in your catalogue. But it's perfect because what I want to do is cover over this little bit while I ink it up with the ink pad. Take that little bit of paper off and then stamp it. That's my plan. So let's move these out of the way and get cracking. We've got a nice amount of light today. Beautiful sunshine shining through. So that's always good for a Monday morning. We've had so many dull mornings recently. It's nice to have some sunshine. So here's my post-it note. So I'm just going to get 2 of these. Obviously you can use any size post-it notes and just cut off a little bit that you need. You don't have to have a full-sized one or anything. So what my layout is I want to have my snail sort of fairly low down, so I can have the flowers and the grass aside, and then you snailed it up at the top. That's my plan. So here is my stamp face up, and what I'm going to do is tear the post-it note, so I've really got just the sticky side, and using that to cover up the text on the stamp that I don't want included. So just take your time to get that in place. Now obviously I'm going to need 2. You could cut a piece out to size, I suppose, but you know me, I'm a bit too lazy for that. I'm quite a lazy crafter, so if I can find a way just to get around it, I will. Okay, but you could cut out a piece, and then what I'm going to do is ink up this stamp so the ink will go onto the post-it note. Of course you have to remember to remove the post-it note before you stamp it. Oh, Tracy's got rain. Oh dear. So hi Julie, thanks for joining us. Oh, and hi Molly. I think it's the first time you've joined us live, Julie. I apologise if it isn't. So do let us know whereabouts you're from. Okay, so I'm just inking up the stamp, and I'm allowing the ink to go onto the post-it note. You really want to make sure that you have covered the whole stamp, because it's quite easy to think, oh well, I'll just do this little bit here, and then you end up missing the bit at the top. Now this ink pad is in dire need of extra ink, so I'd rather over ink that just to make sure I've got a good layer. And now I'm going to remove that, and so you can see that that part of the stamp isn't inked up. I know I've got a bit extra ink going on here, which I will just remove. There we go, just using the edge of my chamois to do that. There we go. So I'm going to stamp him. Let's make sure this is roughly straight, and this should be roughly straight to my block. Famous last words. Okie dokie. So I should have, all being well, the snail without the You've Got Mail sentiment at the top. Let me just shut one of the blinds. Otherwise it's a bit of a whiteout and you can't see it, can you? So there we go, there's the snail image without the sentiment at the top. Now if I was doing a lot of that and I really love that stamp, then what I would actually do is take a knife or a pair of fine scissors and cut around that so that I could use it without, without having to mask it off. Or, as I said, you could use our Stampin' Write markers to just cover that little bit of the snail. So this set is available in the new catalogue that comes out, the new mini catalogue that comes out on the 5th of January. Demonstrators can order it early. So my plan is to put this set of leaves either side. There's no point in masking him really, because you're not going to see much of the leaves anyway. So this is from Field of Flowers, this one here, and it's just so useful, this one, and I'm just using sort of either end of that. Oh my goodness, 5 AM. Well, it's lovely to have you join us from Northeast Ohio, Julie. So are you always up at this time in the morning? Goodness me. Okay, so I've stamped all of that. I didn't really need to stamp it all, but there we go. So what I'm going to do is just have this line up. So I'll have a little bit of a gap here. So that's one side. And then let's do the other. Oh, you can't work me. It's usually my dog. My dog gets me up at odd hours in the morning, and then I usually manage to catch the Australian demonstrators. Okay. So I'm just doing that by eye. There we go. So very cute. Okay, so I'm going to put You Snailed It at the top, and I'm going to add a little bit of detail for the sky with my new blending brushes, which I love. So I hope everybody's had a nice weekend. So I'm just popping that on the block, and I've realised that I know that isn't straight. Let me just clean this off. So if it's not straight on there, what I like to do is put my block straight on my grid paper, and then just look at the line of text and visualise that as being in line with the grid paper underneath. Okay, because if I've obviously put this, I put that on rather wonky. So there we go. So let's ink this up, and I'm just going to try this and see that it is straight. So I'm lining the block to my grid paper, and yeah, that's nice and straight, so I'm happy with that. So one of my jobs over Christmas, as well as reorganising my entire craft room, is to refill all of my ink pads. They're in dire need. Okay, so I'm going to have this fairly high, and I'm just trying to keep the block straight. If that doesn't work, and I've done it wonky, then I can put it on a piece of die cut card, but I got away with that. I have to say, I do love these mushrooms, and I think that would be a great card in its own right. So I might do that another time. Okay, let's add a little bit of sky. So I've got Balmy Blue here, which is my go-to ink colour for sky, and I've got my blending brush, and all I've done is a generic colour for my brushes. So I've got blue, green and brown for the minute. And then I'll obviously have pink, red, yellow, whatever. They do clean very easily, so although they may stain, you can just roll them off in your card to get rid of the colour, just like you do with sponges really. But I won't be putting these through the washing machine, that's for sure. So I've just got some ink loaded onto here, and I'm just going to bring it in from the edge. This is another ink pad in desperate need. So just bringing in a bit of interest here. And what I'll do at the very bottom is I'll do some green. There we go. So it's just a nice soft addition of colour. Taking it right the way down to the ground, as the sky does actually go go down to the ground. It doesn't stop. There we go. Okay, so I'm going to add some green at the bottom. So I'm just going to use my green sponge here. And this is Old Olive. And this is a new Old Olive. I treated myself to a excuse me, a new one. So this has got somewhat more ink in to play with. But as ever, the secret with blending is just doing it slowly and building it up. And as you know that the colour is going from your brush, you can add a little bit more pressure, so you can put your fingers onto the head of the brush itself if you want. Okay. Let's just do another layer, and then I'm going to just colour in the snail. I think it's great to have some fun little characters for card making, even though probably snails aren't everybody's idea of cute. I think just the sentiments excuse me, the sentiments on here are cute. So it'd be good for somebody who's just done a driving test or an exam or an interview or a new job, you know, anything like that really. I'm just putting a bit of this green over the backing here. There we go. And I'm just going to stamp the envelope while I remember, and then I can put the inks out of the way. So I'm thinking this Happy Mail enclosed would be a good one, and you could use that for anything obviously because it hasn't got the snail on it, so I think that would be a lovely stamp for any of your envelopes. Hi Carol with an E. I've got both Carols here today. Thank you, ladies. Okay, so Happy Mail enclosed. So this is the first time I've used this stamp, so I'm just going to stamp it off and also check that it stamps straight, which it does. Okay, so I'm just going to put this in the corner, and when I'm stamping on envelopes I always make sure the flap is open so that you don't have a ridge, and also make sure you've got the envelope the right way around to start with. There we go. So there's our Happy Mail enclosed. That's on my envelope. So let's bring this in and just do a little bit of colouring. I'll move that up out of the way of this ink. So I'm just going to use crumb cake really for my snail. So I've got a light and a dark. So I'm just going to use the dark crumb cake where there would be some shading. I might put a little bit round here as well. Like so. And I like these little speckles here, so I'm just going to do that with a bit of shading too. So bear in mind that your blend pens do lighten as they dry. And then I'm just going to use the light crumb cake over that little area there with a blending motion. Like so, and the same with these ones, and then all over with the light crumb cake. Now I do want to talk to you briefly about our Whisper White cardstock. So Whisper White is my go-to cardstock for stamping, and the thick Whisper White I use for bases of cards as well as coloured card, obviously. And sadly, due to COVID, the supplier and manufacturer of our Whisper White products, so that includes the thick Whisper White, the thin Whisper White, the note cards and envelopes, the envelopes themselves, the Memories and More cards and envelopes, and also the 12 by 12 have gone out of business. And so we're unable to get the exact Whisper White because all the equipment and all the technology was obviously part of that particular company. So Stamping Up were obviously aware of this, and they've spent time with a whole series of different manufacturers, given them the specifications, and they've now agreed on a new supplier, but it won't be exactly the same product. It's going to be called Basic White, and it will be in the same format. So all of the products that we had before will return as Basic White products, and obviously there will be an offset period where you may not be able to get one but you can get the other, or you might be able to get both. That will depend on the quantities obviously in stock. I believe it's a slightly whiter white. It's difficult to have some. I need something to compare it to really, but this is a very, very slightly warm white, and the new Basic White is a bluer, cooler white, if that makes any sense. So it'll be a crisper white. It's perfect still for stamping on and all the other techniques. So I did, there is a video which I posted to explain the differences that Stamping Up have produced, and basically they've tested it with everything that we would normally do. So folding, creasing, stamping, heat embossing, all of those things they've tested. So it's not going to be the same. Obviously, as soon as I'm able to order the new product, I will get that in and share it with you. I have limited supplies of Whisper White card, but if you're in if you are in need and you're running low, then let me know. I think I want a little red heart in there. But just so that you know, that's what's happening. So unfortunately, that is just one of those things. I mean, it does make you wonder, doesn't it, for somewhere like that to go out of business. And Stampin' Up is a huge, you know, worldwide company, and Whisper White must be one of our, you know, all-time items, really. I'm looking for a little bit of blue for the eyes. So that's the Whisper White. So it's now going to be basic white. It does have new numbers, but I'm guessing that the system, if you order online, the system will automatically switch it to the new numbers. And there's no price increase, so everything else remains at the same prices. Okay, so there's my cute little snail. So here's my card base, and let's grab my piece of Bermuda Bay, which is this one here. So that is going to go onto there like that. This would make a cute Valentine's card as well, wouldn't it? And that's going to go onto there. So just do those layers. Okay, I've got my Seal Plus. Pop that onto the Bermuda Bay layer. So the white layer that you see here is 3 inches by 4.5. The Bermuda layer is 3 1/4 by 4 3/4, and the finished card size is 3 1/2 by 5. There we go. That's it. Let's pop that layer on. And we're done. Nice, quick, simple card. So a little bit of masking of the stamp with the post-it note, because the stamp itself has got, you've got mail on it. So I just used a piece of post-it note to cover that up and then inked it up. Stamped it on there, added some sponging, added this little bit of detail from Field of Flowers. And then we've got our little envelope here. Might just colour this one in. Why not? It's Bermuda Bay. And that's us done. Finished on time. 10:29. That's a novelty for me, isn't it? Go. There we are. Okay, so there we have it. So the stamp set is called Snailed It, coming out in January. This little balloon bubble is quite good fun because you could put other sentiments in there. And that is our card for today. So thank you so much for joining me. Oh, thank you, Monica, for your nice words. It is super cute, isn't it? And I shall be back tomorrow. So UK time, that will be 5 p.m. So live at 5. And thanks, Jeanette. I look forward to seeing you then. I haven't actually decided what I'm doing tomorrow. I do apologise. I might do these rather cute mushrooms because I think they're rather sweet, and that would be lovely in red. So I might have a look at that. Anyway, thank you so much for joining me today, everybody. It's been nice to see you. Julie, it's nice to have you join us. Thank you so much. Hope your day is a good one ahead. Same for everybody else. So thank you, Jeanette, Carol with an E, Monica, Jill. Who have I missed out? Tracy and Molly, I think. I think I've done everybody that said hi. Apologies if I haven't named you. So thank you so much for watching me today. I really appreciate your support. I will be back tomorrow. If you've got any queries or questions, feel free to add a comment to this video. If you're watching on catch up, feel free to add a comment, and the same if you're watching this on YouTube. And I look forward to being able to answer any questions and help you in any way that I can. Thank you so much. Everybody have a good day, stay safe, look after each other, and hope you can keep crafting. Thank you so much. Bye bye.